Game has nice intro stalling music potential. True. This game is honestly really like, it's certainly surpassed my expectations. It's fucking good, man. All right. Is this a movie game? No. This happened because Todd broke my cloud save. Yeah, maybe it was for the best. Also, yeah, happy birthday, Napstarf. I had to go get dinner last night. I was lurking for like a minute or two, but hope you had a good stream. What the hell is that? Yeah, the intro to this game is so sick. Actually, it was so dank. It really did give me kind of like the Berserk Eclipse vibes. Maybe not like as dark as Berserk, obviously, but like it definitely had similar vibes. Wait, is this? Oliver, I hope you rot in hell. There was a guy on YouTube who just posted a massive story spoiler, assuming it's true. So that guy can go fuck himself with a rusty pitchfork.
Melancholy beauty. A lone outpost of humanity nestled amidst the earth.
Okay, so wait a second. No, these are different checkpoints. This is the one I came from before, I think. I don't know, man. I'm confused. I'm pretty sure I went this way before. Yeah, no, I did. Oh yeah, this is where I fought the big man. The fight that took quite a while. Okay, it doesn't seem like you can blow that up unless you're in combat, actually. I kind of wish there was a map. Yeah. How challenging is the game? Honestly, it's not that bad overall so far, but yeah, I mean, I am on the hardest difficulty. There's been some challenging fights. I do hope I mean, we're still like pretty early on, so I do hope the difficulty ramps up a bit. There are a lot of negative reviews on this game from people having a skill issue. So, I mean, I'm sure there is some difficulty spikes. But yeah, dude, I was looking through the negative reviews for this game, and every single one of them is like, The game is so good, but they did one thing terribly, and that's making you have to parry or dodge. It's like... I mean, which is fair. The thing is, like, I mean, if you... I don't know, turn-based... Most people, like, a lot of people who like turn-based games don't expect Sekiro from their fucking turn-based game. You know what I mean? But...
Careful, my elbow.
I mean, that's what I like about it.
Take cover!
If you take parry and dodge away what's left in this game, a normal... Counter damage is way too strong. I mean, parrying is pretty tough, though. At least, well, like, I obviously know the movesets of these enemies, so I'm kind of just parrying them like no problem now. Oh, hold on. I might need to readjust the volume. No, are you sure it's too loud? I feel like it's okay. You're just steamrolling these enemies? Yep. I mean, the thing is, the game has a bunch of like difficulty options anyways, right? So wait, does this guy actually have a weak point on his shoulder? Wait, did I? Oh shit. I think you can break the shield, but also do no damage to the weak point. Like, I think I lost the weak point, but it did no damage because he had the shield up. I don't know. It's fine. Wait, what the? Oops.
Finesse and grace.
I didn't even see these bomb guys. Low physical. Oh right, I have Rain of Fire now. Hey Woodman, thank you for the 64 months. What is this Rain of Fire skill like? Oh wow.
Perfect.
Rain of Fire rains fire. I know, crazy. So, you know, if I didn't shoot, well, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Feel the burn.
So yeah, Rain of Fire is 5.
Sword of death.
Oh, come on. Okay. This is just like a loop around. Although the thing is, there is another pathway. Well, let's see what's up here. How she flies looks weird. I like the flying animation. It's pretty satisfying. Take him down. Okay, so oh shit. Well, it'll still apply burn anyways, right?
Great. Danger.
Maybe we should have killed this guy first. Oh, it's just 2 hits? That's not bad at all.
Flames. On me.
Starting to do a lot of damage. It's newspapers. What's up, Hype? Hello, Horned Witch.
This will be useful.
Okay, so I can go this. All right, hold on. Do the climb. Wait, is that just... That's just back where I was, right? Oh, you can't grapple from here because the thing. I see, I see. This game is really hard if you can't parry in time. I mean, the thing is, if you cannot do the dodges or parries, you can't like you need, well, so the thing is, there's an easy difficulty for this game though, and I feel like on those difficulties, surely on the easiest difficulty, it doesn't, like, you can still get through it without hitting the parries and stuff. But if you're playing on like the harder difficulty, yeah, I mean, if you can't parry or dodge, you're fucked. There is an auto QT option, but it's actually not for it's not for dodges. See, it says QTE sequences during player attacks are automatically successful. This does not affect QTEs during enemy attacks, dodge and parry, for example. So it helps with your attacking, but oh, look at this guy. All right, time to get the burn going.
Danger.
Oh shit. No. Troubadour.
I won't disappoint. Parry it!
No, fuck, dude. Oh, this ain't good. That does 2 like explosions afterward. probably should apply the powerful buff. Just kill me, man. Oh wait, I should have overcharged. Ah, whatever, it's fine. There we go. Well, it's fine, we solo him. Oh, never mind. Did I get Melee's best weapon from the casino? I haven't been to the casino, so how about you just stop backseating? In fact, let me just time you out for the rest of the day. Sorry, you've been following for a really long time. All right, you know what? No. I won't. All right, I won't time you out for that long because you've been like a very. He's been following since 2014. That's actually fucking insane. That's like one of my first followers. So, you know what? You get a 1 second timeout, but please don't backseat. All right. Yet he does not know. You know. Maybe he just really likes this game. Sometimes it's hard to not want to backseat. He knows you haven't been there yet. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. If he backseats again, I have no remorse. Oh, I didn't heal before I went in. Take him down. Is there any other? So I have one thing that works off of Mark. Oh, if I'm in defensive stance. All right, let's just do Spark.
On me. A storm is coming. Brace yourselves.
No. No. Oh, man. Close.
Merci.
No, I'm always... Dude, what is it with that third one? I can't freaking do it.
Lune, watch out!
God dang it, dude. Getting fucked.
Get ready.
Alright, whatever. Just kill me, man. Oh my god. This moveset is tough. And yeah, we could dodge, but I refuse. I'm going to parry him. The timings are fine, honest. Oh shit, I should have. The timings are fine, they're just, you just gotta learn them. Also, I forgot to heal again. God damn it. I'm still alive. Holy shit, 1 health. I guess that's because of the shell. Fuck, man. This guy's fucking crazy, dude. The thing is he might already be weak to fire, I'm not sure.
Feel the burn.
I wish that the
Please survive.
there we go. The turn order is kind of annoying here. Boom! Like it goes, Melee is second. I wish Loon was second, but because the marking shot isn't as useful. I'm in offensive though, so I can apply more burn.
On me.
Let the ink flow.
Because my immolation can apply 5 stacks of burn, but the thing is I don't have the marking on it anymore, so I can't.
Ready to evade.
Alright, we got this. Oh, never mind.
I'm back.
Get ready.
There we go. So we're in defensive stance. There's... Oh yeah, Rain of Fire applies more burn if I'm in defensive stance, so... Oh, look at that. 18 stacks of burn. Kind of curious. Well, I'm gonna try the thunder ability. Kind of mid, honestly. I should have just done more fire, I guess. Well, let's overcharge, I suppose. We only have 7. Maybe I should have waited.
I'm ready.
So now we're back in offensive, so we can spark again. Now we're in defensive.
Take cover.
Nice.
Take him down.
Blades sharp.
Oops. I got like a token or something. Oh, the Troubadour. It's a weapon. Wait, who's that for? Oh, right. 119 power? Okay. And it seems like that's clearly the best choice. You destroyed him? I don't know about that.
This will be useful.
I mean, he killed me like several times. It does seem like most enemies only have like 2 different moves though. But maybe, I imagine like the bosses probably have more move sets. I don't know. Wait, am I going backwards? Wasn't I? Oh, okay. Alright, so that was just a full loop. I think we want to go this way. Does leveling matter much? Yeah. I mean, you can see here, hold on. So, like 3 points in health is like 50 HP. Well, you know, if I had 0 vit, I'd be at like 150 health. And get a little bit of defense. She gets attack power from defense, B scaling in fact, so I guess that's good. Let's give her some more HP. Why 0 might? Because I mean, you get attack power, but it's like I don't really. I'm not in a situation where my damage is so low. I don't really feel like I need damage. I would rather just be able to survive. Wait a second. Oh, I just fucking went backwards. Whoops. Did he say when he'll go back to Oblivion? No, I do still want to continue the Oblivion playthrough. I don't think I'm done with Oblivion, but it's kind of annoying. I really don't want to try to call my parents and have them send me the save file, or it's just, I don't know. My parents aren't that tech savvy, so. We finished the DS2 rando. Wait, what the hell was that?
Watch out!
Oh shit.
You're right.
It only attacked when...
Coming.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, cloud storage for Oblivion is broken. Goblu. Oh. Oh, fuck. Cloud storage is broken, and so I don't have my save file because I thought it. I'm back home now, and I thought it worked, but.
Finesse and grace.
And the music.
Let the ink flow.
Why is my...
Ice. Shut.
Can you change the order that you attack? I wonder. Because it's like... Oh, it's based on their speed. Oh, okay. I see. Because it's like, I really wish that Male, or I don't know if I'm saying her name right, whatever. I wish that she was third. Because I can, like, it just synergizes so much better. Mael? No.
Take him down.
I mean, I can get increased damage on Perse. You know what, let's try it. How much damage does this thing do? Wow, 2200. Well, you know what, that actually would do insane damage if I was in Virtuoso stance. Grows flowers. Oh shit. Do I not have, I don't have any AoE. Hmm. Guess we'll start burning him. Nice.
Let the ink flow.
I don't know if I need to close the flowers. Oh no. You bastard.
Let's dance.
For those who come after.
Damn.
Finesse and grace. Place on me.
Should probably shoot the flowers. I don't really know what they do, but kind of scare me. All right, we're in virtuose stance now. Ah, too early, damn it. Oh, he's weak to thunder. Thunderfall's probably pretty good.
Lightning. Strike.
It's alright. Not amazing, to be honest, but... Alright, we can marking shot. And now we do the big fucking damage. Oh, shit. $2,000? Okay, wait, so now we can... Oh, he's not marked, because we hit it with the counter, I guess. Hmm. Shit, that's a lot of flowers. Surely we can just, like, burst them down, right? Actually, if we have, like, an AoE skill, we could probably just close them all. Oh no. That's fine. We're fine. He's dead.
Let me paint death!
Yo, Tide Pod, thank you for the 10 months. Holy, big XP. Shape of health.
Gustav, wait! It seems peaceful. As long as we don't touch the flowers.
Yeah, let's not get too sentimental. It's still a painter's creation.
Damn.
Damn, Maya, what was that?
It felt familiar somehow.
Gustav, we won't understand what's going on if we kill everything that moves.
Look, a red tree.
I feel like
The gestural village must be ahead.
Also, I'm just speaking out loud, chat. You don't have to be like, yeah, that's exactly how it works.
You know what Neverons are.
Maybe
She'll be fine.
the dead people get turned into the monsters.
She'll be fine.
Man, we need to go back to the camp. Okay, well, it faced this direction. Actually, hold on, let's go. Oh, we have our elixirs. Is there variety in terms of attacks and builds you could do? Yeah. The builds gets kind of crazy, actually. Oh, nice. We're back to the overworld.
Still too far.
Being out here isn't what I expected.
As expected. Hey. You okay?
Death out here's not like death in Lumiere, is it? I thought I was used to losing people. I've have a foster child, right? But not like that. On the beach. That man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Neverons we were prepared for, but not. And now we've finally found other survivors, and it's... You know, that's the insidious thing about the Gamage. It's predictable, almost gentle. It makes Lumiere complacent and accepting, but... The Gamage is equally violent than death. Death is just as final.
I've been having nightmares.
Yeah, me too. Look, if death approaches, I want you to run. No, promise me. Run. Especially if we meet the man from the beach. We can't face him. You see him, you run.
Only if you do the same.
Oh, I'm running as soon as I see a strand of white hair, trust me. You won't even see me, I'm running so fast.
Oh, please, you're an old man. I can outrun you any day.
Yeah, right. There was a time when 30 was young, you know?
Sure.
True. Is that the Conjurer? Oh, he's at our camp now.
Surprised to find you here.
Oh, we're at the camp.
I hope we can trust him.
Hello. Oh, he upgrades our weapons.
Toilet bitch.
Oh shit, I shouldn't. I don't know what it said on the last screen. I didn't mean to. Weapons are the main source of attack power. Passive effects from weapons can't be learnt as Lumina and are only active if the weapon is equipped. Weapons also scale their damage from some of your attributes. A weapon that scales with agility means... Yeah, okay. I know how scaling works. Curator can upgrade your weapons using catalysts. Upgrading weapons increases their attack power and attribute scaling and can unlock new passive effects at specific rarity levels. So I can... Oh, we do actually... Wait. Oh, the okay, so the polished chroma catalyst is probably from like 3 to 6, I'm guessing. Because I can also upgrade the Troubadour. Wow, look at the power increase. 44 extra power. I'm guessing we're gonna get a lot more of these soon. Can I turn up the game volume? I turned it down because everybody in chat was complaining that it was too loud. Okay, no, sorry, I don't mean to be... That's just... Fucking pisses me off, man.
At least we can upgrade our Pictos.
Okay, we can increase our Lumina points, like, crazy amount. There's no limit to the amount of Lumina points that a character can have. Oh, wow. Proving tints requires special items. Each tint requires a different item. Okay. I guess you could just go all in on one character if you want them to have like a crazy amount of points. I wish that there was a way to... Like, it's not that big of a deal. I just find it awkward when you... Like, if I want to switch my Luminas, I have to, like, scroll all the way over to the right. Or I could click Pictos and then go to the right. I guess that's 2 less inputs. So we have increased free aim damage. Chance to burn on free aim shot. I think we're going to put that on. And, oh yeah, mark on free aim. Yeah, that's really good. Increased break damage on base attack. Oh, that's good too. So we're not really doing free aim with her, though. Oh, increased counterattack damage. The shell is pretty nice, just for, like, survivability. Increased crit chance on burning enemies. How many points? 8?
Majestic.
I mean, I guess we'll get the... Sure. All of them have... Dead energy is really nice, the AP when you kill an enemy. The UI when navigating the Pictos and Luminos. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned what it's going to be like when I get later in the game and I have like hundreds of these. I feel like it's going to be kind of sickening, but you can filter at least by... You can filter it, so might not make it as bad. I only have one song.
Told you Gestrels were real.
You did not.
Well, I thought it.
How did the Gestrels survive out here?
I'm not sure.
I can't wait to ask them. Gestrels.
Oh, right, the speed. So, oh, 299. So if I get her speed up, then she'll go second. As long as I don't get more speed on... Oh. I guess we could just get health or might. Does defense increase speed? Oh, no. Okay. At least based on what you guys said before, I think that's how it works. Okay, so we have 5 points for him. Still can't get anything new yet. There's shell for the team, but kind of want to wait. Ooh, consumes up to 10 burn for increased damage. Can I get anything new on her? 2 skill points. Oh, interesting. You do damage every turn until you receive damage. Stuns self if interrupted. That's very interesting. Gain 4 AP if target is burning. Consumes earth to play a second turn. Oh, wow. Okay. Yo, what's up, Anne? The turn reset is only for Loon? Well, yeah, obviously. I didn't think that the whole team got an extra turn. It's all good, though. Talk to the girls? I already did. How about you pay attention to the stream? How about that? Thank you for the raid, Ain, and thank you for the 36 months, man. What's going on, guys? Hey, Ghosted Arrow, thank you for the 34 months as well. Also, Calum, thank you for the 77 months. Capitona, thank you for the 15. Boyero, thank you for the 53. Sirebot, thank you for the 2 years. Tide Pod Eaters, thank you for the 10 months. Woodman, thank you for the 4-year resub. And Nosu Red, thank you for the 16 months. Also, Jupaloop, thank you for the 79 months. Thank you, guys. What's up, Jackie? Alright. How's expert difficulty so far? It's not that bad. I mean, I've died a fair bit. Like, learning the... You're going to die learning, like, movesets. Check up on the others. Oh, cool.
Been a long time since I've seen you play.
A gestural village.
Yeah. I still can't believe they exist. I mean, what other fairy tales are real?
This is ultimately a war of information. There's still too much we don't understand. Where the paintress comes from? Why she does what she does? Who is she? 70 years and we still barely know anything.
And the man on the beach. Yeah, too many unknowns. But if we take down the paintress, at least that gives future generations a chance to unravel the mystery.
You seem better than before.
Yeah. Holding it together. Shock's worn off. A bit. We can't bring anyone back. But I thought we can keep their spirit alive by pushing forward. And at least there's 3 of us now. The mission hasn't changed.
Tomorrow comes.
Tomorrow comes. For those who come after.
Oh, I muted myself
Did
somehow.
Noko tell you anything more about the village, other than red trees everywhere?
Noko's not great with specifics.
We'll just have to think like Gestrels then.
Dude, I don't even know how I muted myself. Oh yeah, there's a map here. Yeah, there was that cave. I really don't want to go to that cave though. Oh wait, can we open up like a short? I think we could probably get a shortcut back now. Maybe. This is back. The hell is this? Oh, who are you? It's a paintbrush. Stay at our camp. Esqui's nest.
Great.
You have to break every game? Yes. I feel like you can maybe get up there. I don't know, you can get on that little side. Nah, you can't. Alright.
O paki umano, pukari password topi parono. Tomarito gorgra mornanino mo.
Password.
O paki umano. Tomarito gorgra.
Who's Golgra? Okay, well, it's probably somebody we need to find, I guess. Doesn't seem like they're here. Also, Cookie, thank you for the bits. Thanks, man. Sorry, excuse me. Get more AP for shooting that guy.
Take him down.
Okay, nice. She does go next now, so we can immolate
Feel the burn.
Let's
the
spill
extra stacks.
on fire.
Get ready.
Boom. Damn, the cat, dude. She does so much fucking damage. It's like crazy. Oops. That's okay.
Hurry!
Dude,
A storm.
I'm alive. It's okay. Jesus, man.
Flames. On me.
Oh no, that's not the one I was supposed to
Ready
use.
to
Oh,
invade.
whatever. It doesn't really matter. Boom.
Second one.
Let us sting.
So much XP.
An advantage.
Wait, wait, what? Level 6? Wait, what? Okay, I guess. Why did I get so much? That's such like a big power spike. That's crazy. Oh, is that a merchant? Yeah, I guess if you get the same type of weapon, then it just replaces it, or like it upgrades it. That's probably what's happening. I guess you're getting like a higher level drop. Oh, I thought this might be Golgra. What you got, buddy? Ooh, a suit? I'll buy all of your stuff. Haircut, outfit. Oh. Nice. So I guess we're gonna get something that lets us go past this blue stuff. Some way. The heck is that? Wait, is that guy holding... What the fuck? He's like holding some big... There's another merchant around here. Who fucking asked? God damn it. Chat, can you just like let me experience, like, why must you be like this? What's up, Tom? It drives me crazy when people will just tell you something that you're gonna find in like 2 minutes and they just ruin the surprise of it. Because it's like, now if I see a merchant, it's just gonna be like, okay, well, there's the guy there's the fucking merchant the guy was talking about, instead of it being like, oh shit, there's another merchant. That was just, I mean, I know it's not that big of a deal, but it's just, when it happens constantly, it's just cringe. I want to fight this guy. Yeah, this game's really good, Tom. I would definitely recommend it. Alright, I don't know, I'm kind of scared of this guy. I don't... He looks scary. Oh god. Jesus. 4-hit combo? 5-hit combo? Okay. Oh, I'm dead. Oh my god, he is so tanky. Wait, can I feel like we should flee. Ooh! Oh shit, he does 2! He does 3! Alright, well. You can beat him. I mean, yeah, you can. Just, it's gonna be like a half an hour long fight. So, yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now. It's gonna be like a really long fight, and I'm also gonna die super easily, so... I will do the Elden Ring approach and come back when I'm stronger. Give you mega loot. That's okay. Yeah, if you swap your like weapon or your gear, you can trigger an autosave. Oh, there's 2 portals we can access here. Wait, what is that?
An advantage.
Thought I... What is this? It's like a bottle. Alright, well, this isn't where we need to go, but I guess... Gestral Beach. Oh. What's up? A beach. What are you doing here? Parkour? My mate already reached the end and he's a master at crafting swimsuits. And I desperately need a new swimsuit. Oh shit, can we get a swimsuit for Loon? If you ever manage, he'll reward you greatly. My mate is over there, can't miss him, he's one ugly mate. Joy failing. Good, are we playing only up now? Oh wait, can we not? Oh, you can. Oh right, you can actually. There's not invis walls everywhere. Oh, it starts here. Oh shit! What the fuck? This is so funny.
Holy shit, this is so hot.
Oh. Dude, it is like only up. Wait, this is so weird, man. What the fuck? It's like we're playing Alt F4 now. This game has everything, dude. Oh! There will probably be more parkour. Maybe. Wait, there's a portal over there. You see that?
Ah, kule koma wilo fosse kipo. O mali fisina gomilula. Kula fosov nabe. O mali fisina gomilula.
Oh. Thanks.
So get gawilo.
Yeah, I wanted one for the lady.
Wila foselito. Kula fosov nabe.
Yeah, I do.
Ah, kule koma wilo.
Oh shit.
Kipo. Koma wila foselito.
If I were a 2-year-old human, at what age would I gamage? Chat. It's 17, isn't it? You're probably right, I can't count anyway. For the ladies. Oh shit. Do you have more? There's other creators like me on other beaches we meet up from time to time to brainstorm swimsuit ideas. Off you go, now I need peace. Okay. Oh my god, this game, dude. This game has everything. Whee! Dude, that's so funny though. Like that was actually like playing only up. I hope there's another parkour stage. That was fun. All right. So we have a portal. Okay, wait, that's the portal. This is the portal that we actually need to go in, I think. Wait, no, it's not. The portal we need to go through is behind this. All right, let's see what's in here then. Hidden Gestural Arena. Oh boy. Can you see the outfit? It's so like foggy here. And you can see it. Gustav looks like a prisoner on the loose. What's up, guys? Damn, that guy's tall. They all say the same thing. This guy's gonna actually talk to us though. Whoa. I'll fuck you up. Who will fight? Gustav has the new level 6 weapon, so I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
Who will destroy you? Julian Tinyhead. Oh wow, wait, this guy's actually fucking tanky. What the? Did I buff up? Oh. Holy shit! Okay, yeah, I am too weak. Alright, you know what? I'll be back. Dude, all this stuff is... all the overworld combat encounters... well, not all of them, but a lot of the overworld combat encounters are like really... you want to do this? Trust me. Okay, Boz, bro, I fucking gave you a warning before. God, you motherfucker. All right, I'll see what the other ones are like.
Toilet bitch.
All right, we'll try. Maybe it's like easiest is at the top and the hardest is at the bottom. So, oh, good choice. He's the weakest. Okay, I think I was correct. Oh yeah.
Down!
Time to finish.
Finish him. Let me paint death! Boom!
Oula, faut sauve Nabil.
100% critical chance while fighting alone. Wow. 168 health, 50 defense. Wow, that's crazy. That's like the solo. The fucking... Oh, wait. Right, you can use... Oh, I see. You can use... Okay, hold on. Like, we can put this on and we're just... It gives us 168 health, 50 defense. That's crazy. Oh wait, energizing break. I don't think I've equipped this thing. 3 AP on breaking a target. Well, we can get XP on that, I guess.
Isso?
Give it to Loon? No.
Ah, tous les comme à Willow, fausse équipe.
Oh, Jesus. Ouch. The crits. We can definitely kill this guy. We might die, but we could definitely do it. Oh, yeah. Fine. This one is doable. I mean, all of them are technically doable if you just don't miss any parries,
Oula, faut
but
sauve Nabil. Ok. Mingo. So, Nistoge Garilo.
Down!
Alright, now we hit him with the frickin'... Oh, it's over for you, bud. It's over for
For
you.
those who come after.
Okay, never mind. Hit him with the gat.
Oh, maléfique, là.
Gain rush if fighting alone. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it seems like these are basically meant for like the to help you with this arena thing. Now I have 800 health.
Ok.
What's rush? I'm actually not sure.
Oh, le
Alright,
gros
Dominique
Cléon,
Giant
Mario,
Feet.
solo
His
facile.
feet are legendary. Oh, Jesus. Well, I'm alive. Increases the speed of the character by 33%. Oh, okay. There we go. Nice. Oh, that. Okay. That is slower than I expected.
Comme oui, là, Fosselito. Ok. Isso? Ah, tous les comme Willow, fausse équipe.
Not using his feet. True. Oh, I thought I missed that. Isn't SOS good for this? Yeah, probably.
Down!
Is he gonna do a second attack? Damn. It's alright.
For those who come after.
it's the timing on that one is it's weird. Like you want to parry early, but the animation makes you kind of want to parry early.
Ok. Volevo maio solo fatte.
Down!
There we go. Nice.
For those who come after.
We're getting there. We're doing it. Just hit him with the base attack, I guess.
For those who
We
come
got
after.
him. Level. Oh my god, that was a fuck ton of XP. Jeez.
Ou la photo n'avait.
Gain shell if fighting alone. And we could try the last one, I guess, just for the hell of it, but... I mean, we have 1,000 health now. Is there a flag over here? We do get damage from putting in health. A lot more speed. The thing is, doing these fights is useful for the fights themselves, and maybe there are situations in the future where we're going to have to fight solo, in which case these are obviously really good, but it doesn't matter. Like, the guy didn't need to say that. Can you repeat the fight for XP? Probably. Can fight solo always, though? Yeah, but why would you want to do that? Well, yeah, you could... Like, so you could equip the perk. You could have a character with all those perks equipped, but unless... Like, then the perks are doing nothing except for when everyone else is dead.
For those who come after.
Second win. I mean, our heal is percentage based, so it's actually pretty good. No. You fucker.
Second win.
Whatever. I mean, the heal. Shit! God dang it.
Là, Foselito. Ok.
I mean, we could definitely do this.
Oh, maleficinago mila.
Down. Down. For those who come after.
No! Urgh, fuck! What?
Ole, ok, one by you. 있어? Ok. Ah, tous les.
God damn you, tiny hand.
Grosse équipe.
Okay, wait, what? That move there? I swear he's like faking.
Oula, faut sauver Nabil.
Oh man, I don't know. He's fucking one shot. I'm not gonna do this right now. Whatever, man. Like, we could do it, but I don't know. You were so close. The thing is, if he does that feint, I'm just gonna keep dying to the feint. I'm sure there's a way to tell, but I just... Guys, can you just let me fucking decide, like... I have chosen not to do it. I know you're like, oh, well, actually, oh, well, you could still do it, but shut the fuck up. I don't fucking care, okay? I don't want to do it. Redwoods. Oh, we have 8 points. Oh, this is an AoE one. And break as well. Overcharge is fully charged. The target, wait, if a target is broken by the hit over, oh, it fully charges overcharge. Wow. Cool. Okay, yeah, this skill seems quite strong. I'm gonna take off from fire. Destroys all targets' shields. Oh, wow. Gain 1 AP per shield destroyed. That's really good. Oh, you can stay in Virtuoso stance too? I do like the burn build, but we could drop the burn and go for the shield break, I guess, and the defenseless. I don't know, we'll just wait, I guess. We take a bath? Chroma swirls inside. Pour 5,000 in. Sure. Must minds created by man be considered false? Many have pondered this question. Most have understood its complexity, but alas, not all. Long had they thought the answer obvious, but the more they pondered, the more it consumed them whole.
What is this? A cryptic story dispenser?
Jesus. Okay, this is like
Actually,
the
I
Hollow
found it
Knight
quite
fountain,
interesting.
I
Could
think.
we try it again?
Yeah, I don't have enough money for that, Loon, okay? I'm fucking... Alright, well... Hello. Blabbery. Find an missing expeditioner to unlock this item in the shop. Artist. Ooh, a song though. Goblu. Let's get the haircut for Loon. Oh, Rock Slide is 5. And now I have... What was the new skill? Wait, was it... Oh, no, I didn't get a new skill for her yet. Yeah.
And if Vantage.
That scared me. I thought I like fell out of bounds or something for a sec. I still have the solo Pictos on Gustav. I do. I mean, I don't know. They do give a ton of HP, which is kind of nice, I guess. And there's so many portals to go through. This is... Oh, wait, I think we got the shortcut back to the previous area, too. The small version. Oh, we have 6 points on her. Oh wait, we don't... We have 1 more speed. This defense gives us a lot of crit. Eh, screw it. I mean, we don't have scaling for defense, so maybe I shouldn't be leveling it, but I'm sure it's not that big a deal. Alright. Bubbles. What's up? Far, very far. Want to see mistress. Who's your mistress? You do not know, head fuzzy. Can only feel mistress. Need to go high. Help me grow. Grow? When me ingest, me grow. If me eats skin. Skin same kind as me. Oh, he's a cannibal. That's great. Me extra grow. You need us to skin some Nevrons. Eat skin, my kind, to grow. Okay. Do I have... Oh, I have a version skin. Here you go. Later, come see. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's go rest. Maybe that doesn't work. Maybe it takes a specific amount of time, or maybe I need to zone out and zone back in. I don't know.
Expedition 53, Lilu. Dominique's other injuries are manageable, but she's been in a coma for 2 weeks with no change. Fuck. What do we do? We can't just leave her here. But what about the mission? Lance says give her 1 more week, but Dom would have wanted us to go on. She'd have yelled at us for even staying this long. It's the right choice. It is. Even if it doesn't feel like it, right? Right? Pons found a plant, tested it on some animals, says it'll be painless for Dom. He's preparing a tincture. It's fucked up. Everything's fucked up. But it's what she would have wanted.
Yeah, there's logs for every single expedition. Very interesting. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Not everyone. It seems like the really late ones have been lost. Julian Simon, yeah. All right, let's go to the camp. Oh, we can play our new song, chat. Go blue.
Told you Jestrels would.
You did not.
Well, I thought it.
How did the...
I'm not sure.
I can't wait.
Yeah, just blast that music right into my ear. Oh, we actually have materials to upgrade this even further. You get so much attack power from like upgrades. It's kind of nuts, actually. Dude, frickin' Mael? Yeah. God, every time I say this name, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. It doesn't matter anyways, but still have a level 3 weapon on her. It's pretty bad. I should probably go all in on... I don't know if it's good to, I don't want to be like a one-trick pony. I mean, you could, and maybe that's the best, but... It's all like base attack improvements. It's kind of eh. I guess we'll just put on the... Put on the shell. Dang it doesn't work. Game doesn't want me looking at her too closely. Alright, time to go to bed. Alright, let's see. Did this guy grow? Oh shit. He grew pretty big. Look big size like brother. You grow up fast. Do all of you do this? No? Was broken. Humans fix me? Want to take reward. Oh. We spit out an item.
We can use that.
Thank you. So aren't you gonna see your mistress? We felt mistress, but I see up, not mistress. Regent. Regent? Who's this regent? Mistress paints us, regent tends us. She watches their sky. Oh. Why am I able to attack every NPC, man? Why can't I just... Why do I have to have the option to murder everything? God damn it. I don't want to. But he I mean... I don't think we can give him anything. Do not want. Oh no. He said he doesn't want. He doesn't want to fight us. It's pretty tanky. This guy's about to like freaking one-shot us. Oops. Oh, 3 turns remaining before somebody's eaten. Can I not? Can you not flee?
Let's dance.
Doesn't seem like it. Damn it. Jeez. This guy is so tanky, man. I want to just flee, but I can't. God dang it.
Flames. On me.
For those who come after.
Wow, that did a lot, though. I guess lightning is where it's at.
Flames. Rain. Let's spill some ink. Flames. On me.
Well, wait, 4-hit combo. I always miss one. Couldn't you quit the game? I don't know. I mean, we can do this, technically. It's doable. Can reload from combat. Oh, you can actually. Oh, that's nice.
Please
25 stacks of burn. I wonder if there's a limit to how many stacks you can have.
For those who come after.
Man, dude, getting like, if I was able to mark during this, it would be so good.
Flames. On me.
Just keep burning, I guess. I don't really know.
Anja.
Should feel bad for this. I mean, I kind of do. But I'm also... I mean, well, we can see what we're gonna get from this. Oh, finally.
En garde.
Try the virtuose stance. We're okay.
For those who come after.
That didn't do as much. Alright, what about this? Yeah, it's
Take him down.
not that much. It does okay damage. He made worm face nice. I do such little damage though. Wow, that really doesn't do much. There we go. Alright, we almost got him. Oh, it's dead.
For those who come after.
This has been a long fight. Alright, what do we get? I mean, you get 5 Lumina and a Chroma Cat, a weapon upgrade.
Sorry. No hard feelings.
I don't know, I mean... Maybe you can do something with the guy, but... Just killed a baby? Okay. He was very big. I don't think that you can give him more stuff. Like, there's no way you can make him even bigger. No shot. You fattened him up like a pig, then slaughtered him. Yeah. Kind of fucked up when you put it like that. Have I been... This is back where I was before, right? Oh no, I didn't mean to go to the camp. Damn it, I pressed the wrong button. Hey, iCast Stick, thank you for the Prime sub. Yeah, okay. Said he didn't want to fight. I know. I know, okay, I'm sorry. But he gave us 5 Lumina points, so that's pretty nice. Okay, I want to try this shatter skill. Oh wait, let's just shoot all the weak points.
Chroma is flowing.
Whatever, these guys are all dead anyways.
Danger!
Damn. Hey, didn't do much damage. I don't have enough AP. Oh, we got a weapon upgrade. Alright, so this is the portal we need to go in. Lumina learned accelerating last stand. Oh, nice. Well, I think there's actually some more Pictos that we haven't fully leveled up yet. Energizing break. I guess the solo stuff is kind of whatever. Alright, into the portal we go. Ancient Sanctuary.
That's a lot of red trees to search.
They must have some sort of track or trail leading to the village.
Wait, I hear something. It might be Nevrons. Be careful, okay?
Oh, do I need to stun it? You bastard! I don't think we can get him. Well, maybe we can. Maybe we can trap him like in a corner. Wait, what is this blue thing? Oh, okay, I guess we can attack him if he's on the blue thing.
Feel the burn.
Take him down.
A storm is coming. Feel the burn.
Flames on me!
Flee in 3 turns. Oh no. Did I miss it?
Chroma's flowing.
I guess that's not actually a weak spot. Oh, I don't have enough AP.
Sword of death!
Nope. Not quite. Flee in 2 turns. Oh man, I hope I can get at this guy in time.
storm is coming.
I guess we can Thunderfall. Can't break yet. Oh no. Ah, oh, god damn it. God dang it. He's gonna frickin' use his... Fuck, I don't know what to do.
Flames. On me.
He's gonna shield it. Oh wait, I can... Oh no, I didn't... Oh, I should have looked at the turn order. Fuck. We might... I think we're okay, maybe.
Feel the burn.
We're at... Well, yeah, but he was gonna flee in like one more turn, is the thing. Ooh.
We can use that.
Applied burn on hitting a marked enemy. Oh, we could put that on Loon, I think. Another expedition, 33. Who are you? Dream and illusion. I don't really remember what I did all of this for. I miss laughing with everyone. Everything is washed away. The boy has gone silent. What is that?
Wow.
That's a lot of dead Nevrons.
Who did?
I don't see
I
any.
think they mean us.
They must be Gestrels. They're cute, but they're idiots.
Oh. Oh, fuck.
Hey, hey, we're not Nevrons!
He's got a weak point on his arm. Can't get an angle on it though. Oh wait. Hold on. Oh, this guy's pretty weak. I never know what to open with and I guess immolation.
Danger!
Oh. Well, that was weak. Oh wait, he marked us. Oh no.
sword of death.
Brace yourselves.
Oh. Well. We're okay.
Holy shit, this is so hot.
Nice. He does a death move, what the fuck? Oh, I got a new weapon.
Don't worry. We don't want to hurt you, Patat. Noko sent us.
Kapatate. Oh, de noko te kepate. Oh, hati noko ke parka debe sakapatate.
If you guide us to your village,
Lero maricor. Okay, deal. Pero kare mi bossa kapatat. Ni sugama bi ve virageo.
I'm not
Guide
giving
us
you
to
my
your
arm.
village, and maybe he'll make you something better.
Wait, what are you...
Cheri saka kipo?
Trust me. I hate liars.
Okay, deal. Gama vive. Leko gami sakapatat. I gomi haro putu.
You're better with gesturals than humans.
They're less complicated.
Sakaram. That's for Gustav. I don't think we want to use that. I mean, maybe if it was if we upgrade it. I don't know, there's multiple different ways to go. Hello. Oh, we have new music. Oh, okay, so you can hit it. I was wondering if you could hit it enough or something like that would happen.
Aka! Flames on me! Please survive!
Oh, come on, I parried that! Maybe I can't, maybe you actually have to dodge that.
These things are fascinating.
how do they even stand?
Nice.
Nice. Okay, wait, what about the other path? That's where the okay. Making sure I got my bearings correct here.
Go forth, touch the demon inside me.
so many different pathways to go down, man. It's like,
Perfect.
I don't know. I'm missing the shoulders. Trying to shoot too fast. Am I not hitting the
Take cover.
There we go. Oh wow. Damn. I'm surprised I actually hit that. Oh, it's not dead? Oh shit, here we go again. Okay, so there's... I think that might take me to the item that I saw that was up on the ledge. Dude, there's so many ways to go, man. It's like, I don't... I don't know.
Take cover.
Thunder thingies.
Ready to hang. Feel the burn. Chroma is flowing. Feel the burn. Strike.
Hang it, man.
Nice.
Oh wow, attack lifesteal. Put that on Gustav, I think. Wait a sec, was there... Right, so I can go on the guy with the self-heal. Yeah, but he's the one that I use base attack on a lot. Maybe I shouldn't, but... Oh, this is for... Okay, nice. Does every fight feel samey? No, not really. I mean, almost every single enemy has different movesets that you need to learn to parry. I mean, at the moment, I'm kind of just doing the same attacks every single fight because I don't have that many skills unlocked and I can't really branch out my build yet, but... Wait, what is it that I just got here? Energizing start? Well, this gives 175 health. Might be better to put that. Well, yeah, that's definitely that's a good skill to probably have on the Lumina.
Well, that will help.
Oh shit. So I can use Shatter, but, well, I shouldn't. Okay, we need to break. Not sure what the best... I mean, maybe defenseless will let me build up. I think overcharge... Overcharge can break, but you know what? Let me help. Let's buff the team. Oh, that does a lot of break buildup. I guess you want high, like a high physical damage attack. Right.
Let us stain them.
What about Thunderfall? Well, rocks.
Quake into being.
That does a good amount.
Ready to parry.
Oh.
Blades sharpened. A precise strike.
I don't have enough. I don't have enough.
Chroma is flowing.
Maybe she has a break, right? Oh yeah, rock slide can break. So we just rock slide again. Oh, we could also do mayhem. Actually, mayhem's probably better. I guess it didn't do much damage, but now it's broken. So now we fuck him up.
Let me paint death!
Chroma is flowing. Feel the burn. I'm ready.
All right. Goodbye, Mr. Mime. Wait, I got an outfit? What? Baguette. Wait, I actually have a fucking piece of bread on my back. I'm like, I don't even know where I am anymore. I think this is where I cleared enemies out here before. Oh yeah, okay, I know. We're kind of OP though. I don't even know if I need to kill these enemies. But I guess it's more XP either way. I don't really know.
Feel the burn.
I need more AP to start with if I want to like do different combos.
So does death.
Maybe we should try to respec my L.
Take cover.
Oh, I actually still got a counter off there.
Take him down.
Surprised. Wait, what? Wait. What? Two. Oh, because she was stunned. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I was like, why did she die? I parried on the other guys.
Ugh. This place is
All right, I'll do it for you, chat.
They built
This
it to
place
make
is
their
confusing.
village
Yeah,
harder
no
to find.
kidding. Oh, flag. Man, there's so many pathways to go, though. It's actually kind of like, kind of disoriented. Oops.
We can use that.
Okay, so the flag was up there. I came from over here.
Let us stain then. Feel the burn. Danger!
too early.
Chrome's flowing.
Parry it!
Oh, another expedition log.
63rd. Damn yeah. Damn it. I can't believe we crashed into this. Whatever this massive thing is. So much for Gerald's vaunted reinforced front plates. I can't believe we have to abandon the cars already. We're nowhere close to the paintress. I'll definitely have a concussion. I could have sworn I saw some gestrels running out of that thing. I'm definitely hallucinating. Damn it, Hector. I told you to slow down!
Wait, Lobos is playing Mistfall Hunter? Wait, did he send me a message? Oh, he did. Hold on. Oh shit, wait. Oh. It is funny to me though that they decide they still use the default UE climbing animations. Where the heck is this? I feel like maybe it's down here and I just, oh yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the default ones. It's just funny because like that's the same. It's like the same animations. It's from advanced locomotion, which was a marketplace asset. Okay, well maybe it's not the default one, but that is like literally the only up climbing animation. And well, a lot of games use the exact same animation. I've seen this animation like in so many different games. It's not, again, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just funny. You know what, let's respec. Like I don't know, let's just switch it up because we keep using the let's try going this direction instead. And destroy all shields and then we can get Fencer's Flurry. I don't know. I just figured it's getting like a little repetitive, spamming the same stuff. Okay, yeah. So we don't. There's not really a different build we can go for Gustav though. And instead of going for fire, we could go. I mean, there's a heal, but I don't really feel like we need the heal. Let's go for like the earth. Medium ice damage to all enemies. Applies slow for 3 turns. Honestly, AoE ice seems nice. Crystal Crush 7. Damn. I mean, we have an AoE earth. Terraquake is good, but we don't have the points for that. Sure. All right. Lobo said he was down to play Mistfall Hunter, so... But the thing is, well... Lobos is only able to play for like 2.5 hours, so we could do some Mistfall Hunter for a bit, and then we could switch back to Expedition afterwards. Wait, what the hell is Lobos doing? Is he playing Monster Hunter?
Oh.
I don't know. I think he's playing... I think Lobos is playing Monster Hunter. What the hell's going on? Is it... Wait, what the fuck? Is Lobos doing like a low res stream today or something? His stream looks like fucking from 2013.
Oh my god. That's a lot of notices. Okay, what are my controls for this game again? Let me see. Where is there
I'm on max quality.
Let's change your outfit real quick. Yes.
Why does his stream look so weird? It's not just the face cam though, it's like the game too. Yo, Nameless, thank you for the 41 months. Is this game beast? I'm really enjoying Expedition 33. I do hope that, you know, it continues to have good enemy variety and everything as we get further into the game. Some people in chat are kind of getting on my nerves, complaining about, oh, I didn't realize that the flags are like the expedition numbers. Yeah, the enemy variety so far has been good.
Line Teddy.
Well, I would be down to play Mistfall with Lobos, but I don't know. Thing is, we don't have a third, unless... Well, I could ask, like, Lepa if he wants to play or something. Lepa is playing Fortnite. What the fuck is going on with Lepa? Why is he playing Fortnite? Leppa's having a midlife crisis. I do still want to play more Oblivion as well, chat, but I need to get my freaking save file, which is a pain in the butt. Okay, Lobo said he's fighting a Rathalos. Oh, we got a shortcut now. Yeah, well, like, the thing is, guys, I have to call my parents and have them... I have to have them, like, set up my PC and then log in and download TeamViewer and then install it and run the program and send me the session code. Which, like, I know that doesn't sound that bad, but it's also, like, my parents. Make them install AnyDesk. How is that any different than installing TeamViewer? Isn't that the same thing? Why would that be any easier?
Zombie alerte! Zombie alerte! Ultimate weapono! Kawał, mano! Bogi bogi, ultimate sakapatate! Bogobo, fighto! Oti, loku, loku!
They sound like kids.
We must be getting close to the village.
Engarde! What you do? Vage vage, ultimate creationo!
Kinda looks the same as all the others.
Hey, don't get cocky, Maya. Look at its equipment. That looks a lot more dangerous than the others. No, seriously.
I'm ready. A storm is coming. Quake in fear.
Let's spill some ink.
Buff up the team, why not? Nice. Oh, I guess we just do the assault. No crits. Unlucky. Oh, you need 6 for this. The target is defenseless, play a second turn. Oh shit, wait, okay. I think I can apply defenseless with Gustav.
Gustav, don't die!
Down. Wait, he has a weak point. Jeez. Oh my. Fuck.
I'm ready.
I need to get more AP, man. Oh my god, I'm doing nothing. I'm so fucking weak.
Take cover.
Please survive.
Oh, we can break him.
For those who come on.
Nice. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot of damage. Oh, no.
Time to hit. Okay.
I'm ready.
Burn is hurting, man. Oh, wait. My recovery dispels status effects.
Second wind.
Oh, well. Oops. Alright, so now we can use... I guess we'll do rock slide and then we can thermal transfer.
Gustav, don't touch.
Alright, let's try... If in Virtuoso stance, stay in Virtuoso stance. I guess it would be nice if we were in that. Let's just see how much damage it does. And I guess that would have done like... Could have been okay.
Let us stay.
Okay, so... I can do thermal transfer. Well, actually, let me play a second turn.
A storm is coming.
And then I'm actually gonna give AP to Gustav. Man, I want to try this. Well, I don't think the breaking rules does that much. You also get a second turn if the target is defenseless.
Brace yourselves.
Oh wow. Gustav does the most damage by far.
For those who come off.
That wasn't that much though. Oh wow, that did a lot of damage. Holy. Breaker. Increased break damage. Hey, Pepperidge.
Gorgla, lumma via faitor, kottara chestral, kamivori, kopinna. Gorgra femikola nissu, poki.
Oh, attack lifesteal is 15. Sheesh. It's also for base attacks. Wait a sec, is this? Oh wait, there's an item here.
This will be useful.
A little side path.
An advantage.
Increased damage on stunned targets. Hmm. Wait, we don't have... We haven't leveled up Energizing Break. We want to make sure every single one of these is like leveled up so we can just... Because you want to be able to equip them as like the Luminos. What's going on? We're playing a game called Expedition 33. Yep. We're gonna switch to the Mistfall Hunter game in a bit though and play with Lobos for like an hour or two before he has to go. And then maybe we'll play more Expedition 33 after that. I don't know. We'll see. That is the plan. What is it with all the P? What is it? Krauser, are you trying to bait? Or I think you're just trying to bait, to be honest.
Nice.
I don't know. I'm getting a headache of all these stupid people in chat. I mean, sorry, stupid isn't the right word, but poorly opinionated people. Whether it's intentional or... Gastral Village. Oh yeah, we can go to camp. Augmented counter is really good to have on everybody, for sure. I guess we could do critical burn still. Alright, let's actually upgrade our weapons. Generate a random stain on free aim shot. Wait, the trebuchet's actually kind of good then. Maybe I should free aim with her. Because like stains are very powerful. We could get all of our weapons to level 7, but honestly our damage has been okay. I get like a lot of attack power from getting health, so I don't know. I mean, I guess we can get some speed. We don't have anything that scales with might. Well, some of the other weapons probably do. Also, I think we can maybe get... no, not yet. I want to get Fencer's Flurry. Strike's Storm seems cool too. 6 hits. Crustal Crush? Oh, you have to get Mayhem to go for this one. Elemental Trick. Critical hits generate the corresponding stain. Oh wow, so if you have high crit, you could get like 4 stains built up just from using this ability. Why aren't there VODs of the last streams in your stream tab on YouTube? Because I don't want my YouTube channel to die because every single time I stream, YouTube promotes my fucking like the VOD of my stream. And then nobody fucking clicks on it ever. I don't know if YouTube, I don't know if stream recommendations are separate from like long form content. I don't know if they affect each other, but... Okay, well, you can also just subscribe to my VODs channel on YouTube, or you could just watch the Twitch VOD. I know Twitch VODs aren't as nice as YouTube, but... Well, yeah, but Kenny, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if your streams are constantly being recommended as videos on YouTube and people don't click on them, is that going to make your long form content, like actual videos that you post, are they going to be affected because of your stream being constantly spammed? You know what I mean? I don't know. Moist Critical does that? Well, his YouTube channel is like too big to fail. So I doubt it even matters for him. All right. We're gonna do Mistfall Hunter for like 2 hours with Lobos. I don't know. The whole YouTube stuff is, I don't know how it all works. You delist the video, it shouldn't be promoted, but still be available to view. Well, that's literally what happens. After I end the stream, it becomes unlisted. So for those who open the stream or have the stream open while the channel is live, you can still watch it after the stream is done. But it's not going to be recommended in your feed, or you're not going to be able to see it in the list.